Hi everyone. Um, Several people had questions regarding this game. I recently made a post on my Facebook page regarding this. This is War Robots. It's by a company called Pixonic. I just checked Google Play, and there have been at least 50 million downloads of this game. So it's very large, very popular. And these guys have really done a lot of developing. A lot of changes have happened in the at least 3 years. Maybe it's four now. I can't remember exactly how long this has been going on. But the gameplay in here is just so responsive. It is as fast as you want it to be, or you can be a camper if you want to. Those of you who are gamers, you know what that means. And those who don't, that's a term for someone who likes to sit and hide behind cover and shoot things like guided missiles and such like that, or sit back at a very far distance and hit you from 1,000 yards away or meters, whatever the case may be. So, that being said, let me go ahead and give you a little look around here. As you see, here are my robots that I have staged. Uh, you can see the names of them. Inquisitor here. This guy, he has. Let's click on him. Just go to equip as if we're going to do it. Um, the thing is, with these robots, they go up to level 12. You can actually go further than that. Once you hit level 12, you can spend 500 of your gold. You can see the AU there. And you can, excuse me, you can enhance it. I believe it's called MK2. And you end up starting back over. What it does is it gives each level a 20% boost. So you go backwards initially when you do that. If you want to do, say, the robot, you can do it for him. You can make him MK2, so he'll be stronger. Won't be any faster, but he'll have more durability. And the weapons, the same thing. Uh, and so for those people who are really hardcore, they want to have the most firepower, the toughest bots, they'll do that sort of thing. For me, this is my escape from reality. So this guy here, he is interesting. He's not the fastest robot in the world, but this thing on the right here called Descend, if you look down the bottom, just to the right of where it says upgrade there, what happens is he's the kind of bot that you use him to go in and fight close combat. All these weapons are close ranged. This says 500 yards, but this is a very effective weapon at close range. It's deadly, actually, at close range. And it will still reach to 500 yards or meters, I guess they're using here, but it's not. It's about all it's really good for at that range is to dig away at someone's shield if they have an energy shield on their with their robot. But close range, it breaks physical shields, it breaks energy shields, and it wrecks robots. So at this level, you see that it's only a level 9 versus 10 that I have the other ones in. There's a reason for that. It's 10 million silver. Not that that's a big deal, but I actually stopped playing for a while. I do that from time to time with games because I tend to get a little obsessed and then I get irritated with them. You know how it is. So anyway, this is the Thunder here. It's a heavy weapon, and in this case, he has one heavy slot, two medium slots. These are something. I guess the proper name should be Taran. Most people call him Terrans or Terrans. But these are energy weapons, and they are very formidable. They tear a person apart. Um, let's see, how do I describe all this to you guys? People who are not familiar with the game, it's really difficult to explain a lot of these things because it's one of those things that you have to see it to get it. But these will go through an energy shield. They'll just bypass it completely. Physical shield will hold up to it, but if you get enough of these pounding at them for a while, it'll break the shield, and then the robot is toast. Not a lot of bots come with both types of shielding. A lot of people will run some with one way or the other, or not at all. Obviously, the ones that have some sort of shielding are better for gaming. But this is another one that's rather costly. Once you start getting up close to the level 12 market, the prices really jump up. So anyway, that's the Inquisitor. This is the Griffin. By the way, the Inquisitor is one of the newer bots. I forgot to mention. Let's go back. I forgot to mention about the Descendant. Started talking about that. When you go in and fight, say for instance you're able to go in, maybe you catch somebody off guard, or you just decide to go in guns blazing. Once they start attacking you back, of course you're going to start taking damage. This guy has a radar on him, or an invisibility, a cloak essentially, and he'll jump in the air, but they will not be able to hit you except unless you happen to be against like a back wall of some sort, and they have a weapon that does something called splash damage. It has to be rockets of sorts. But anyway, that's not that big of a deal. It rarely does that much damage as it is. But it's a way to him to get out. Most of the time, it's a way for him to bail real quick and get behind some sort of cover and all that. But I use it a lot to go in and just teach somebody a lesson who likes to hide behind rocks and such like that. So anyway, it makes him a very interesting robot. This is a Griffin, one of the original ones. And the weapons that I put on here, you can put a lot of different ones on all of these robots. Just depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you want to do. You can fight close quarters. You can fight from cover. You can fight from a distance, or you actually have some bots that literally jump a lot. And they also dash. They have a very fast pace dash. I'm going to do a video soon so that you guys can see some of these things in action, and it's pretty interesting. But these are missiles here. These are light missiles. They do a ton of damage when they hit. They are not guided. You have to lock on with these sort of things. But they do a tremendous amount of damage when they do hit. But when you have bots that jump and such and dash, then it's hard sometimes to hit them. These are similar in nature. These actually do more damage, but they are missiles as well. Again, they're not guided. So there's a little bit of luck involved. These are also very close range. I think it's 300 meters for both of them. 350 for the aphids. And for the vortex, yeah, same thing, 350 meters. So you have to be within that range in order for these to work. So, anyway, the Griffin is another slow-moving heavy robot, but he has a jump engine in his. So, it's a very useful tool. A lot of people, after they've been playing for a while, don't use Griffins a lot, mainly because some of the newer bots are just tremendous by comparison. And which leads me to some of the next ones. Let's go over to this guy. This is the Kunio. He's a medium robot. but he has this dash effect here that you see. He's a very fast robot. He goes at 60 kph without the dash, and when you do hit the dash, you can hit it once, or you can have it do it twice. It actually charges up. So if you have both banks charged, then you can hit it one right after the other, and he can go a really good distance. I use him a lot to surprise people. Again, a lot of people, most people will try to run for cover if they're being attacked, and a lot of times I'll creep up on real quick with this robot, and then I'll hit the dash button really 2 times consecutively, and you'll be able to get around the other side of him without even realizing what happened, because it's very fast. And these weapons are called Orkans. They're missiles. They're not guided, but at close range, 300 meters is, you have to be within inside that. The closer you are, the better they work. And at point blank, they pretty much destroy everything. Now, you see some of these have more than, this guy only has two weapon slots. That's not a lot, but you get a lot for this guy because he's so nimble, because he's able to get around. You're able to go collect beacons, so that they have some games in here where some formats where you're able to capture beacons for your team, and the more beacons you capture, the object is to try to capture them all, along with obviously defeating the other side's robots, and by capturing enough in your favor, then you end up winning the game and such. So he's very valuable in that sense. So here's to the left here is another dash bot. This is the Haichi. He is, you see, I got 2 different types of weapons. The reason why is because I don't have more of these. I'm going to buy one here soon. I'm actually saving for something else. There's another robot that I really would like to get, and I'm trying to save some currency for it. It's not like the gold and silver that you see up in the upper left. I'll show it to you in a minute. But when I do that, you end up getting, by spending the certain amount of currency on this, by getting the parts that you need in order to get certain robots, you end up getting more gold and other supplies. So it'll actually work out. I can buy one of these Orkans for 1,200 gold. Yes, I do have enough to get them, but it is harder to come by. It's kind of like gems in any other game. So, anyway, this works out pretty well because these guys here, the one thing I didn't mention is they have, when you fire them, it'll fire, I think it's 32 rockets. And then once you actually end up depleting them, but it's auto loading. It'll continue to load, so you can just continue to hold the fire button down, and it will fire 1 rocket at a time as it's reloading. But it is slow. This guy, when he cycles out, he I forget how many it is. It says it here somewhere. Fire rate 32 plasma bolts in 9.6 seconds, and then there's a 4.8 second reload time. So he reloads all of his in about 5 seconds, versus the other guy that's 1 rocket at a time, and you still end up wrecking somebody else with these things. And eventually I am going to go get another one, or I may run, at some point I may switch it up and run 3 of these Taurans, because they are really quite incredible as well. So he has the dash drive, same thing. He has 2 dash banks, but it takes longer for his. I don't know if it says it in here. Probably 12 seconds per charge. And just to give you an idea, the Kumio, and this is why he's so valuable, is because his is 5 seconds per charge. So he can zip all over the board, really can, and avoid getting hit a lot. The last one that I have in my lineup is called the Hover. This guy is he's cool. He's interesting. He flies. This glide thing here. What I found, if you try to keep him in the air all the time, you end up being dead because everybody sees you and everybody shoots at you. So you use it as a surprise, and you hop up in the air when it's convenient. You can get up in the air to escape. You can get up in the air to again, somebody is hiding behind a rock. You can use that glide feature to get up behind him, and just they'll still try to run away from you. They do it all the time, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, these here weapons. This is Gust, up to 500 meters, and it chops people up pretty good. This little thing here. It's a light weapon. These are kinetic weapons here, I believe they're called. Let's see. As you can see the description there. But the closer you are, the more effective this is. And the same goes for these here. This is a Storm. It's like a shotgun. Actually, all three of those are similar to that of a shotgun. That's the idea. Again, up to 500 meters. These are really good. I find they're really good to chop somebody's energy shield down. So if you have people on your team that are fighting, they don't have they have a rocket system. A lot of times the energy shields will stop a lot of the rockets. So if you have this type of weaponry, the shotgun effect with the Storm, with the Gust, and also, as I showed earlier, with this guy over here, with the Inquisitor, he's got this heavy weapon called the Thunder. Those will just chew away at people's energy shields and leave them completely vulnerable. So that's my lineup. I got some more robot. I got a ton of robots actually in here. Some that many are undeveloped. You end up getting so many robots, it's insane. I have multiples of certain robots. These I do not have multiples of, except for this guy here. I've got more than I can count. I do have 2 of the Hovers. I also have another premium bot. I'll show you real quick. Let's see. Let's go to the right here. You can see there are so many of them. And I am looking for one specific one. Here we go. This one took a long time to get all the parts to. Took plenty of currency, and this is called the Bulgasari. He's a very tough robot. He's a heavy robot, and let me do this just to show you. He's I have him to level 9. He's ready to go. What I'm trying to do is level up his weaponry a little higher before I take him out. But this is one robot that everybody wants. You see, he's got a lot of hit points at level 9, and if you go to level 10, it gives another 10,000. But this is where he comes in really handy. Currently, he's got a physical shield that will take 252,000 damage, and that's that little thing. If you're looking straight at him right now, it's to your right hand side. That little thing looks like it could be a shell or something. Well, you can't see it too well there, but here, let's go into the shop, and then I'll turn it to the side. You can see it a little bit better. That's what he does. What you do is if there's a threat, he turns over to the. It's not quite completely to the side, but it's almost at 90 degrees, And I know it seems silly that little piece of metal will stop all the firepower, but it does. And unless it's a rocket that has big splash area damage, and this won't stop it. But direct weapons, that will stop a ton. And what happens is he's got three very, very powerful medium weapons, and by firing these, you only need 5 seconds for them to completely reload. So when he empties them, he can turn to his side. He doesn't have to run. He can just wait for 5 seconds, and then voila, you can go right back to fighting. So, as you can see with these things, you can put different skins on them, all sorts of wonderful colors. This guy doesn't have a lot available, but to give you an idea, oh, by the way, just before we leave, he also has a dash drive as well. His takes even longer, though. It's 15 seconds per charge. So, but just so you have a better idea, the Griffin, for instance, they have all sorts of different colors. I mean, these things are some are really interesting. Makes it so you can, have your own little signature, so to speak. If you're Irish, I guess. But anyway, so that's that. Alright, real quick, gonna go ahead and gonna go back. Let's see. Oh, let me just do this so you can see too. Say, for instance, I want to put a different weapon on. This is what you got. I have tons of them. A lot of them are undeveloped, mainly because you need an endless amount of silver to level up a lot of them. There's a way to get a lot more silver in this game. It's really a good deal. The one thing I would recommend anybody who wants to start playing this game is you become a premium player. I mean, it may sound wonderful, but all it is, you click that little thing there to the right. If you want to try it out, 10 days is for $5. $30 is for $10. The second one is the best deal by far. I mean, obviously, you're getting 3 times as much for twice as much. Anyway, and you get a lot more silver that way. And in the beginning, you don't need a lot, but after you hit around level 8 or 9 with everything, then it starts becoming very expensive to get your robots and your weapons leveled up. So, okay, so here we go. Here's something else here. They've done so much. A lot of this stuff wasn't available until, I don't know, a year or so ago. This is something they started a while back. Now, I already ran through this once. I'm in the Expert League. Okay, as you see here, looking at the top, the higher you go, the more reward points you get for each one that you achieve. Okay, these coins add up, and I'm going to show you what they're good for later on. If you go and you click on this, you see what comes in with that. Now, that might not look like you get much, because these things, it takes 10,000 of each of these. But what happens in here is, this is all for free. And it all adds up. Eventually, you end up getting a lot of really cool stuff. And, I mean, these, obviously, the higher you go, the better off everything is. And the coin here that you is tremendous. If I put more time into it, I know I could easily be in the Master League, if not champion. But I don't even belong to a clan or guild. I have offers regularly, but I it's not that I'm antisocial. It's just that when you get into one, then there's expectations. You have to perform so much, and all this sort of thing. And Sometimes I just don't like waiting on other people. Sometimes I like to play a game here and there. Sometimes I like to go and play for a long while. So I probably will join one here soon. If nothing else, I may do it just while the next contest comes up. But anyway, so let me show you what these coins here, these gold color things, where it's a 7,500, for instance. Now that is up here to the left. Okay, where it said inevitable death. There it is. Now what you do is, I already went through these. These are a bit of a trap. Okay, as I said, a bit of a trap. In the beginning, you don't get a lot of these coins. It takes a while to get going with all this. If you get your hopes up, say, "Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and spend that extra 2,000, or several," it's got to be that one more. Chances are, probably not. They have, as you can see, you can get up to 5,000 parts, which you only need 10,000 to get one of these. I had to learn the hard way, and occasionally I've gotten 1,500 or so each, or whatever, 500 here, there, 2,000, whatever it is. Even 3,500. I know I've gotten that. Never gotten 5 grand, and essentially, even though it seems like I have a lot, 284,000 is what I have. The Each time you click on one of these, it increases greatly, and it is not worth it in most cases. So what I'm doing is I'm going to save up a substantial amount more and save it only for the weapons and or robots that I really want. This is a good one. Obviously, it's this one that I showed you earlier. If I didn't have one, I'd go for this, but there are several other ones, much newer ones, that I would like to have. One of them is called the Spectre. I could show you that one. I don't have him, but just to give you an idea, you go here, which leads me to the last thing. There's a store. Actually, not quite the last thing, but almost. Alright, oops, sorry. Go to change the robot here. You go to the store. If you really want it, you can buy any robot you want. Now, these things with silver, that's obviously easy to get. Anybody can get them. You can buy a lot of things with gold. But as you go up, and prices go up, and then you see this where it says 10K, 10,000 components. If I wanted to buy it, I click buy, and you can see, I think I warned some people about this, the price is absolutely ridiculous. So 60,000 or $60 for 10,000 parts to get this guy. He's actually cheap by comparison. You can see that I have one of these. I didn't buy him. I won him in a contest. That's the other thing, guys. You can win a ton from this game. I mean, I won this guy. I didn't spend anything on him. 5 grand worth of gold. I didn't win him, but I wish I had him, because he holds 4 heavy weapons, and he does something that's pretty cool. It's what is it? Quick draw. That's what it's called. It says it right there. He fires the weapons. There's like a cooldown time, but you can swap out different weapons and use them. Again, here's more. Another one. This is a brand new one that just came out. Look, here's case in point. He's $95 for 10,000 parts. So, just do a couple more. I think most of them they have gone down, because I remember. Maybe they were talking about changing the economy. Okay, prime example. This guy, $99 for 4,500 parts. So if you had deep pockets and you don't care, then that's your business. But most people would never spend over $200 for one silly little robot. I mean, he's great. He has this overload thing where he's got 2 weapon slots only on him, but he can he has he has this perimeter around him. If other bots are near him, or in that little circle, and it's illuminated when you're playing the game, then he'll hit the overload. You hit the overload button on him, and he'll do damage to him quite a bit, to my understanding. So, but these are new ones here. This Pursuer. Yeah, here we go. So you need $300 for this character. This is definitely a new one. No, he's not as much as I thought he would be. There's the Inquisitor. One of my. This is one guy that I'm going to get. You can see I've already got parts to him, but that's what I'm saving my coins up for, my gold coins. As you see, he's really expensive, but this guy holds 4 medium weapons, and they are. If you get, it doesn't matter if it's 4 Orkans or 4 Tarns or whatever. Four medium weapons is huge. You can just one quick push of the button and you just vaporize whoever you come across. And he has, they call it Descend, but it's basically all it is a jump drive that makes him go into stealth mode. That's all that is. But that is invaluable in battle. I mean, you jump in at someone and they can't hit you, and all you do is you just wipe the floor with them. So that's my next one that I'm gonna get, and when I do it, I might go ahead and make a video of that one too, just so people can see how that works. But it's worth the wait. I forget what this guy does. Mercury. Oh, he dives in the air, I think it is. Yeah, he does. They call it a hell dive. When he does hit the ground, whoever's in that little area of his that's within the impact area, they sustain damage. I forget. I think this guy might. Yeah, he's got 5 charges for his dash drive, so he can dash 5 times in a row, just like that. And his cooldown is 12 seconds, but I think that I can't remember how that works because he's so new. But yeah, he's definitely one of the brand new ones. Anyway, so I'm gonna cut this down here. There's a couple more here. Some that you get. I didn't cover workshop points. I'll do that real quick. This is as you guys see, there's a lot to this game here. There's a lot of really nice stuff that they have. This is the workshop. You don't start out with. Oops. Oh, that's interesting. As you see, it's a Russian company. How bizarre. Let me go back and try it again, see if it'll come out. I'm not going to cooperate. Interesting. Well, bottom line is, now I'm trying to remember. Yeah, you wouldn't press that thing on the right, by the way. You do get a free one every 24 hours. Oh, here we go. So, as you see, there's 85 units of each of these. You start out, I forget how long it takes before you're able to start doing this. I think it might be level 20. After you hit that, then you work your way up. You start with 1, and then you work your way up to having up to 6 of them, up to level 15 workshop. The great thing about this is all you have to do is queue them all up, and I think it takes 4 hours each. So when you go to sleep, you wake up, you got 2 or 3 of them sitting there, and you see that I don't have many. I once had, I think I had 50,000 or something ridiculous, probably more than that actually, but. That brings you to another thing. You can, first thing is you can buy certain weapons. You can buy energy weapons like the Tarn. You can buy oh god, there's there's so much here. I'm not going to go into it all, guys, but you can buy certain premium weapons with them. Real quick, this has ended up being a whole lot longer than I had anticipated to be. But, for instance, the Magnum, in order to, if I were to go to the store, that is, if I can get to it, there it is. You need $3,750 for one of these, okay? And then the list goes on with medium weapons, same deal. And again, I didn't hit the store. Getting tired here. As you see, these weapons are the same way. And if you want them, the newer ones, you have to have all the components to get them. This one, $5,650. So it adds up. And the reason why I don't have many is because of this right here. That little, I didn't indicate what it is. It's a little star here. It says 8 hours, 19 minutes with a little percentage thing there. You click on that and they give you all sorts of deals. You can spend that money if you want to, or you can do like a lot of us did. Some people use gold. I have used some for certain things I wanted. For this little thing called Ember, I've done it with that and some other ones. I do have one Ember, leveling it up too. I'm actually waiting because I want to get that blue robot up and running before I finish leveling it, the Ember up. The Ember, it basically roasts everyone. It does it bypasses all shielding, and it's tremendous. So can't wait to get that started. But here you see the workshop points. You're able to buy stuff with that. That's where all mine went. Just about, except that I bought a lot of other weapons along the way with workshop credits. So, but as you see, you can buy everything in here that way. So this is a really cool game, guys. I'm sorry. I know I missed a number of things. I'll do this one real quick since I just thought about it. This is something that they started just recently called a supply drop. Every 3 hours you'll get one of these, and it's based on how much work you do in the game. You guys control everything in this. You want to be in the Slacker League? You can be in the Slacker League. Look at this. In the very bottom one, which nobody is in, you can still get these keys. Yet one more thing. And you'll get gold every 3 hours. You'll get this. You have to claim it yourself, okay? But the higher you go up, the more you get. You know. Let me show you where the keys are. That thing there, it says 1 day at the bottom. This is the 1 day, 11 hours is what we got left. You can do 10, 100, or 1,000, your choice, if you have it, or you can buy them. You can always buy them if you want to. What's really interesting about this, and I'll show you the storage here. This is where you get a lot of your components at. Okay, everything from robots to weapons. It's all logged in here. Okay. And you do get pieces of these through this. But you can, let me go back here. I found if I do the 10s, I get a lot of gold and a lot of those gold coins for this stuff over here that I was talking about earlier, for these things up in here. Okay, that's where I get a lot. Where I get a lot from you doing 10 at a time. 100, I get a lot more. 100 opening 100 at a time. I get a lot more weapons and robot parts and such. Now, so that you understand, I'll open one just so you can see. I'll do a 10 one here. Okay. You only have to do 10 at a time the first time. Then, as you see here, you can either open up one, it says open 10, or open 41. Now, each time you spin this, that bar at the top here, it advances a little bit. When you get to the very end, you get something called a super chest. When you get a super chest, you get it. Sometimes you really get something cool in that. You get a whole robot or a bunch of parts for something that you really want. The list goes on. 1,000 at a time speaks for itself. Those are big amounts all the way around. So with those you can do more. If you got 10,000, you can open 10 1,000 at a time and so forth. Okay, so this is a lot longer than I had wanted to do with this, but some of my friends that are gamers, I know how it is. You want to know what you're getting into, and hopefully this will answer a bunch of questions. So, as always, guys, anytime any questions you ever should have, please feel free to contact me. You know how to, and otherwise, I'm going to end this. This was long and drawn out here. Since I'm already this far, as I said, I already went through this once. That means I already filled the bar at one time. What's great about this is that when you do get up all the way to your limit, in my case it was expert, they'll allow you to start over like this, so you can continue to get more. So this is all about what you put into it. Okay? Have a good one, guys. Happy gaming.